Coach Bill, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got somebody waiting in the room, I think, already, Coach.
Yeah, Coach is ready. We live. We finna get going now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Big Things Kentucky Live Sweet 16 preview show. Coach, man, for Big Things County, we got a huge segment. We got 3 teams from Big Things County, our affectionate area. We got Douglas, Woodford, and our defending champions, GRC, on the way, Coach. But we're going to kick this thing off. We hitting with both barrels. We're going to start off with our man, Coach Wes Scarberry. Coach, my coach, what's going on, Coach?
How's it going, fellas? You guys doing all right?
Yes, sir.
Coach, man, how's it going, man? First of all, congratulations on first year coming in, getting this Douglas team over the hump into the Sweet 16. Congratulations to you and your staff.
Thank
you
very much.
What kind of year has it been for you? And, man, just personally, professionally and personally, getting this Douglas team over the hump.
Yeah, it's just been an amazing ride since day one. I came into the school year and I wasn't even expecting to coach. Started the school year and then, some things happened there with the program and it just happened to work out for me. It's a blessing for me to get this opportunity. And we hit the ground running in September and through a lot of good leadership with kids on our program. And just, I feel like I was talking to Coach McPeak the other day and just winning breeds winning. And I think with the football team winning the state championship, going undefeated, and then getting those kids into our program, I think they're winners. Those kids are winners. They know how to win and what it takes to win and to win at that high level. So, and we did it all year. It was an amazing ride for us. I think we're 31-2 right now, 28 straight wins, and certainly didn't expect all that stuff to happen. But, just fortunate to be in that situation personally, having, been out 2 straight years of coaching and just to come into this situation at Douglas has just been a blessing for me, truly. So hopefully we can keep it going for 4 more games and bring home that state title.
Now, Coach, you guys probably, like we said, one of the hottest teams going into this tournament. You haven't lost a game since, I think, November maybe? It might have been earlier than that.
December 10th.
December 10th, Coach. Now, on one thing is good, but how do you keep this going?
We don't talk about it a lot, honestly, within the program. We focus, and I think one of the things we've done really well as a coaching staff is just focus on one game at a time. And we don't talk about, how many we've won in a row or upcoming games. And today we practiced, and we're only focused on Martin County right now. And we'll just take one game at a time. It's hard to do in this type of setting because you got to play back-to-back games. And we did that throughout the year in several tournaments that we played in. And that's just been our thing. Just, focus on the next game, the next day, and not look too far ahead, not really look behind, just kind of focus on the next task at hand. And that's just been kind of our thing, just, and it's worked out. It's worked out so far, and hopefully we can continue that.
And I don't think folks realize, Coach, this is still a fairly young team. Of course, you got the Webb kids out on Webb. Of course, you got Kai Sesson, probably the most underrated player in the state of Kentucky. But you leaning on cats like Avion Chenault, who came off the football field in December. Yep. And, of course, LaMelo Boone, probably Mr. Basketball in the next 2 years, definitely a candidate. So, man, how important to be, depending on them young cats, and how important is your seniors being for your guys?
Well, it is an odd mix of kids that we have. Obviously, the senior leadership we have is great. Tylon Webb's a tremendous football player and basketball player, and more importantly, a leader. Going to West Point and playing for Army kind of proves the type of kid that he is. And then Kai's been in this situation for 3 straight years. He started on this team for 3 years. And to have those guys leading our program puts a little less pressure, I think, on those younger guys. And they can just go out there and play. They can just go out there and ball. And Avion and Mello, they play so much. They play, year-round with AAU. And they had some experience last year playing at the varsity level. And Logan coming in as a starting linebacker on the football team and starting now for us. Just have 3 sophomores who start for us. Just, our program shouldn't slow down after this year. It should just keep going and maybe even get better. with people like Chris Wright coming in next year to play a lot, Noah Jones, who've played a lot for us this year, but will step into those roles next year. Terry Kaysen is as good a freshman, I think, as there is in the state. He just hasn't got those opportunities like a lot of freshmen do, just because our team is so good. But I would expect to hear that name a lot in the coming years as well. So I just think we're there right now, but I think our program is just going to continue to get better in the coming years with all those young kids and teaching, as we go forward, the kids coming up, just, what our program's about and how to play.
Now, what's your experience with the Sweet 16 as far as, going into this?
Just as a fan so far. I always enjoyed going and watching and getting some ice cream, but that's been it. It's always been a dream of mine. Obviously, I think if you coach high school basketball in the state of Kentucky, it's your dream to coach at Rupp Arena in Sweet 16. And that's just going to be a dream fulfilled on Thursday. The only experience I have personally is at Model. We went to the All-A state tournament in 2013. It was 10 years ago now. And so we played at the Frankfurt Convention Center and won the first round game. It was a similar setting as far as coaching goes, because it's things you're having to get hotel rooms and prepare for meals and get the team kind of focused on that tournament setting. But to be on this stage, obviously, is a much, much bigger stage, and you're playing the best of the best and playing at Rupp Arena. And it's just it's really a dream come true for me as a coach.
Coach, man, I guess we get you out of this Martin County school you're going to face come Friday this week. What are you expecting from them on the 6th? What are you expecting for this Martin County team? And what have you seen so far on tape that gives you a little red flags about how good they could be?
Well, they're a very athletic bunch. They're very fast. What I've noticed from their guard plays, they're very fast. They shoot the ball very well. They're averaging about 71 points a game. And so that we average, I think, 75. So it's, their style of play is similar to us. They can change how they play. I've seen them, on film, play really fast and press people. They get out and go offensively. I've seen them also play some zone and kind of slow some teams down. So at this point, it's just kind of, we've seen everything we think that a team can do against us as far as defense goes. So it's just preparing for multiple things that could happen in the course of the game. But they got some kids that can score. Their leading scorer has 21 points a game, and second leading scorer is about 16 a game. So, they can put the ball in the hole. So we'll have to play really good defense, and that's been our staple kind of all year long. And but had a great practice today. Kids are focused in on what's about to happen next week, and I expect it to be a great game. I told the kids today, it doesn't matter at this point. Every team's a great team that you're going to play. Yeah. And so you just got to be ready. You got to be ready for anything that a team can throw out at you. So we'll just do that throughout the week. Just look at different things that we think they might do to us and prepare accordingly.
All right, Coach. They got us now. Some would say that bottom bracket is probably the toughest bracket. They say it's loaded, Coach. They got us down here. Ain't nobody giving us a chance, Coach. What we got to do to get this and get out of here, Coach, with what we need, Coach?
Well, I'd say it's been like that most of the year, and I actually prefer that. I don't want teams to think that we're the favorite. Our kids have played with a chip on their shoulder since day one. I kind of coach that way. And it's not going to be easy by any means. Any of the games that we play, obviously, look, that second round with Mel and Breathitt. I think that could go either way. And then obviously, you got GRC and North Laurel. They got some great teams. Lyon County is one of the best players in the history of the state, one of the leading scorers. So any of those teams, honestly, Newport has 3 kids that could be Division I players. And it's just at this point, you just got to go and prepare as best you can as a coaching staff, get your team ready, and just go out there and play and just see who's the best. But it'll be no easy task, but I think we're ready for it. So I think we're as good as any team in the field, and hopefully we can show that this week.
All right, Coach, I got your back. I'm rooting for you. We will be there. One thing's for sure. If you want to make Thursday, like you said, it's going to be some of the players that are scheduled to play Thursday on these teams. That's a day you definitely want to make.
Yeah, let's get a big crowd there and see what we can do.
All right, Coach Bill, you got anything else for my coach before we let him go?
Hey, man, get out here and support these Douglas kids, Lexington kids. Get out and support them. Support it. Good to have Lexington schools in here, man. Great show. If you ain't got a chance to watch a play this year, Coach has done a remarkable job with them. A lot of talent over there, man. Douglas set up to be good for years to come. So, Coach, hats off to you and the Frederick Douglass program.
Appreciate that, guys. Very much so.
All right, Coach. All right, so we're going to let Coach Scarberry go. We got another guest scheduled to come up here pretty soon. Coach View, man, like we said, we was looking at that bracket, man. Day 2, man.
How you got
Douglas
GRC
and Martin County.
North Laurel going off. I get it, man. That's gonna be a bomb.
North Laurel and GRC. You know what I'm saying? And we saw Newport at the Woodford County game, the Woodford County Air Step Classics. Newport, hey man.
They said they got 3 Division I kids on their roster.
Newport is a running, gunning, athletic. Newport ain't nothing to be. And then Lyons County, you got Lyons kid, probably one of the greatest scorers we've seen in a while, and he still has eligibility. And then, like Coach said, Male and Breathitt, and then you got Douglas and Martin. Oh my goodness, Coach, man, that second day is looking to be something special, Coach.
It's gonna be a doozy, Coach. It's gonna be a doozy. I do like Douglas and Male moving on. I like Newport, and I ain't gonna lie, that last game, I couldn't even tell you, because I think it's a toss-up.
Yeah, that's
but I think GRC, I think they're still hungry for another state championship to one repeat, so you can't count them out. And North Laurel got probably one of the best players in the state, so anything's possible.
Yeah, anything's possible. Man, we're waiting on our next guest, and while we, just kind of we'll take a peek at day 1. We got E-Town and McCracken County. E-Town's got this kid, he's probably every bit about 7'9", 7'10". He might be closer to, 6'10". I'm sorry, Coach. He might be close to 7 foot, man. This kid, he's a beast. We saw him at the Woodford County things. You got Jeffersontown and Woodford County representing Big Things County. Woodford County is full strength now. Hopefully we get a chance to holler at Coach Brown before the show's over with. Always comes in and checks in with us. And then you got Warren Central, the perennial #1 team in the state. Only lost 1 game, which ironically came to our team, Madison Central, taking on Pulaski County, who, came out of that region, and Owensboro and Ashland Blazer, man. So day 1's going to be something that's not to sneeze at either. But, boy, that was day 2 bracket, Coach.
There's plenty of athletes out of Owensboro for years. It has been.
Yes.
And Warren Central coach seems like they something special. 1 loss on the year, like I said, at Madison Central, who's been tough all year. I think the injury bug caught them towards the playoffs, leading into the Sweet 16. But I like to see Warren Central play, seeing coach play. That's gonna be a nice little.
They are hungry.
They got a nice little draw too. Yeah, they got a nice little draw. But hey, you got like Woodford County. Woodford County's son. You got cats like Leighton Starks, Jasper Johnson, who are young cats. You got my guy there, the Jay Park son down there, and then of course you got the little point guard. I love that kid, man. He's special. I'm telling y'all, he is a special talent. If y'all got a chance, the little Wade kid, to watch him play, man, he's special. I'm telling you, he's special.
The big thing with Woodford County is, they don't have a record that you're expecting, but they've been injured, and I think they're full strength now, pretty much as close to healthy as they're going to be going into this Sweet 16. That is a dangerous team. That's a team you do not want to play.
Well, plus they also had to play a tougher schedule, as you know. When you're that good, you got to go out and play farther out. Play different states, different county tournaments, try to get in and get played. And like you said, they have not been healthy. So to get this team healthy again is going to be huge. And you're going to see a big thing. Coach Brown will have these boys together and definitely giving some teams trouble in this playoff run.
All right. Well, we had a guest scheduled earlier, but we're going to go ahead and bring on our next guest. This coach, he used to be in Big Things County and moved out right before we got started. We want to bring on North Laurel's head coach, Coach Nate Valentine. Coach, he used to be in. How you doing, Coach? Yeah, let me give my coach some respect that he deserves, Coach. I'm sorry, I can't be wearing a Douglas shirt talking to my North Laurel coach.
I like it.
Yes, sir. Now, how you doing, Coach? Like I said last time, we just missed you as far as Big Things County. But you went on to bigger and better things. North Laurel, Reed Shepherd. It's senior year. You know, you had a great run last season. What are you expecting from your team this year as you get ready for the tournament?
Well, I think we're playing a lot better than we were early. We had a lot of injuries early in the season, and obviously played a really good schedule. And I was looking earlier today. I mean, I think we went through a stretch where we lost 8 out of 12. You know, and that's a tough stretch. You know, it's hard to go through whether you got a good team or a bad team. It's hard to go through, but you know, I feel like we're playing well right now. Obviously, it's a very challenging first round game, and but you're in the state tournament, so you know that was one of the goals at the beginning of the year, that we wanted to, you know, get back to Rupp and give it another run. So we're extremely excited to have an opportunity to do that again.
Now, Coach, when you have a team as loaded as you have, especially y'all been the last few years, you got to get out of town to play some different teams out of state. I mean, you played a team out of Pennsylvania, played a team out of Florida, out of North Carolina, a couple of teams out of Florida. How important was you early on to get those games in, to get your team battle tested, to get ready for this state championship run?
Yeah, you know, one of our goals was to get to the Sweet 16, obviously, and then the other was to give these guys a great experience for their senior year. You know, I mean, being able to play in the city of Palms, it's probably, as long as I'm at North Laurel, once in a lifetime opportunity. And, you know, to do things like that, to play Justin Edwards and Imhotep and Freedom Hall was just some things that we probably knew our record would suffer from, but we felt like the experience that our kids would get from, you know, even going to Springfield, Massachusetts and playing in the Basketball Hall of Fame. I mean, that's, you know, it's just something that, you know, I've never done before, and certainly a lot of these kids have never done before. So, you know, we want to give them a great experience, but I think it definitely has helped us. You know, we're fortunate to be here. We were in a dogfight. I think we were down 6 with maybe 5 to go in the opening round of the region. And I never had a sense that our guys were rattled at all, just because I think they've been in that environment and, you know, played in other environments, been in different situations. So I felt like they handled that really well. So I think that's a big part of why we're still playing.
Now, Coach, you in that bottom bracket. Everybody say that's a loaded bracket, Coach. You got defending champion GRC. Coach, man, what we going to do, Coach? How we going to handle this, Coach?
Yeah, we're going to have to be good. I mean, you know, that's you know, everybody keeps saying, you know, you're going back, and this year, you know, last year's experience will help you. The problem with that is GRC was there the last 5 years, you know, and was in the state championship game, was able to win it. So, you know, that part of it, I think maybe a moot point, but you know, it is what it is. I mean, we scrimmaged GRC early in the year, and I remember when Josh and I went through the handshake line, we said we hope we get to play again, you know, because we knew that would mean that we're both back in Rupp Arena. So that's all you can ask for at this point, you know, is a chance at it, and it is what it is, you know. So we'll you know, we'll tip it up Thursday night and play our best, and if it's good enough, we'll advance, and if not, we'll you know, these kids have had a great year.
Man, Coach, man, of course, everybody knows the team led by UK commit Reed Shepherd and his running dog Ryan Davis, 17 points, Reed 22. Man, who else do you lean on this team and depend on to help make his team so successful as they've been over the last 2 or 3 years?
Our guard play's been really well, really good this year. Brody Brock is a guy that started for 2-3 years now, and you know, he stepped up, played really well. Colton Rawlings has kind of been our defensive guy here down the stretch and really locked guys down and done a good job for us. And then Gavin Chadwell in the middle has been just fantastic for us. I mean, the kid's just a warrior, and you know, good defensively. And you know, the thing that we have right now is everybody's so unselfish, and it doesn't matter. You know, we don't ever have to worry about, well, this guy only got 2 shots tonight, he's not going to be happy. I mean, you know, Reed Shepherd is our leading scorer, but if he didn't shoot the ball 3 times, he wouldn't have a problem with it. So we've gotten really good bench play this year as well from some guys off the bench. Cole Jervis and Kyler Elzup came in. Chase Keene gave us great minutes. So, you know, we'll just, you know, we feel like we built some depth through the injuries that we've had, you know, during that tough stretch. We went 3 or 4 games there playing the state's best without 3 or 4 of our top 8. So, you know, it forced some guys to play, and they did well. And, you know, hopefully that will pay off as we move into next week.
Coach, you got anything else with Coach Valentine?
Coach, I'm sorry, man. I don't know why they stuck you down there like that. And then the gladiator bracket down there, but it's all right. I know it's the battle tested team, so it's gonna be a great game. Probably one of the best games of the second night. Ahead, Coach,
watching the draw, we were. I was wondering if somebody left the number 13 ping pong ball out of there. I didn't think we were going to come out, but like I said, we're happy to be a part of it and looking forward to Thursday.
Well, Coach, we'll be looking forward to seeing you guys play. I got your back, Coach. I'm picking you in my bracket, Coach. Let's go Jaguars, Coach.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Coach. All right, man. We got Jared Peck. Jared, man, thanks for joining us. We got our next guest on. I figure you don't mind joining us. We're going to bring on the man that Coach Valentine's going to be facing. My coach, head coach of the defending champions, GRC Cardinals, Coach Josh Cook. Coach Cook, what's going on, Coach?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. Y'all talking about Coach, man. Coach, I just want to let you know, I got you, Coach. I got you.
All right, I got you.
I got you now. It's the girls, but hey, we all region champions. We winning, we riding, Coach. Coach, man, defending champions. Got North Laurel. What can we expect, Coach?
I think it's going to be a great game. I mean, obviously, it's going to be probably one of the best crowds I would think of. Definitely the opening round games, and could arguably be one of the better crowds of the entire tournament. It's a late game, 8:30. I know it's going to be. It's going to be a great. It's going to be such a good atmosphere. That's the one thing we've talked about there, guys. Like, just make sure you're ready to communicate. Get everything in order, get everything on line, be on the same page. Because it's a special opportunity to play in that type of crowd, in that type of environment, and anytime you make it to the state tournament, it's always awesome. So I think we'll be ready to play.
Coach, so modest and mellow. I don't know what to do. Somebody can take lessons from you up to the top left, how to be modest and mellow. But Coach, man, like we spoke to earlier to a couple coaches, man, you've had to go outside the state to get some games to get a better look. Because of course, people see you on the scale like, oh no, I don't want these problems. So, of course, you went down to Florida, had a few little struggles out of there, came back home and just went on the tear, Coach. I mean, it's been impressive. How important was it to get those games in Myrtle Beach to get this team ready for this Sweet 16 run you made?
I think it really just helped us kind of find out who we are as a team. And, the hardest part for us, is, this is a different team. You always get the comparisons of what you did in the past or the team the previous year. But it really helped us kind of figure out who we was as a team and where we wanted to go from after Christmas. And our struggles, we had to be honest about it and say, hey, these are things we got to get better at. But that schedule prepared us, and we had a lot of adversity we had to face. And anytime you're a successful team, you have the doubters, you have to deal with the negativity of or the people that celebrate your losses and things like that. Or it's for high school kids to learn to deal with.
We call them haters, Coach. We call them haters, but you ain't got to say it. I'm gonna call them haters for you.
I'll say it. So
haters.
But it's hard for high school kids to learn to deal with it. But it's also one of the most important things that they can learn about life is if they deal with it the right way and trust each other. You're going to head in the right direction. And that's kind of what happened for us. Is we were challenged and played some great competition. We had our first loss in the King of the Bluegrass. It had been a long time, but it was just phenomenal for our guys to go through that experience and to be able to, learn to understand who this team is this year.
Coach, now just as like you said, you're defending champions. You come into this season, sky's the limit. Everybody's thinking repeat and all that. How have you handled all that success and helped kind of settle your guys down and taking it into this new season?
I think I'm pretty honest on a lot of things with our guys. I think it's the only way to be. I think just being real. Understand, hey, this is these are the expectations. Hey, these are also, you need to be humble about it and understand, like, at any moment, this thing, some of these guys were on the team when the COVID year happened. Understanding that team, Jerome was one of those guys. He was, he had a chance to that year that when the moment was taken away that, a team didn't get to go play in the state tournament. That's kind of what started the whole run for our program here recently. But just to understand, like, hey, it's a great talent in Kentucky. There's great teams. For us, this is going to be a great tournament. And we're really trying to talk about, we try to set a vision for what it would take to win 4 games and understand how tough that's really going to be, and mentally how much you must, how much you want that. Like, you had to make a choice. We had to really talk about that and say, hey, if you want to give yourself a shot at this, it's got to be everybody buying in, everybody bought into. It can't be about you. It's got to be about us. And that's kind of been a big difference for us, especially after the Douglas loss we faced in February. Guys were very humble after that and knew there were some things we needed to get better at, and it's kind of paid off for us here in the end.
Hey, Coach, can you look at head I mean, Thursday nights you get probably one of the most celebrated in-state Kentucky recruits in years in Reed Shepherd, and then if you win that, congratulations. That's going to be the biggest crowd the first round. Then the next night you might have Lyon County and Travis Perry, who will be the next most celebrated in-state recruit, perhaps, for Kentucky or whatever. And by the time he gets to you, if he gets there, he will already broken the scoring record most likely for everybody, any player all time. I mean, that's quite the first two. What do you do to the KHSAA to get that draw?
Man, if you my kind of belief in things is like everything just kind of, you have to kind of see what the journey brings and whatever road and path you must take. I mean, it isn't always going to be the smoothest road, so it might have a curve or two. So, but you gotta have a vision. And I know our work's cut out for us on Thursday night with North Laurel and Reed, and but man, how much fun can that be? I mean, if you look at it from our side, and the way I'm trying to explain it, it can be. If that scenario was to play out and we play well enough to advance, and and we get into Friday night, and it's either and it was a Lyon County with that. I mean, that would be 24 hours of just a lot of fun and an awesome experience that that you could remember forever. Now, you might not be. You could be playing on the. I'm trying to figure out how to word that. You might not be the fan favorites at all times in there, and that's okay. But what an awesome experience. I mean, if you want to play the game and play, and play at a high level and play for championships, I mean, that's some stories to tell right there.
And I don't want to overlook that Newport team playing Lyon County. That Newport team is a real deal. And nobody wants any of that smoke either.
No, man, and they play so tough. Like, they play extremely hard, and they get after you, and they're athletic, and those kids play fearless, and they could beat anybody in the Sweet 16. So I mean, it's and that's kind of what we're studying really, is those four teams. You know what I mean? Just kind of looking at those whenever that scenario brings, and it's definitely some talented basketball teams.
Coach, we got a hard road ahead of us. What's it gonna take for us to repeat this year, Coach?
We've talked about being disciplined, like really understanding, taking care of yourself. Like, guys, like when you have an opportunity to rest, you better get off them legs, because this is a grind. And understand at any moment, like if we have to make adjustments or your number's called, it could be a guy that, you might not play in one game, but if we was to get into playing, trying to go down this path again to, giving ourselves a chance, if your number's called, your mind has to be right. We cannot afford any type of, selfishness or moodiness. Like, you have to be disciplined and have a championship mindset that, we're going to try to do whatever it takes to win this thing. And, if not, you gave it your best shot. I mean, but when you go play it, I mean, that's kind of been the scenario, is you got to give yourself a chance. And we know Thursday night's just going to be, it's going to be a battle, and we got to be focused there and get through that, and then be ready to, if you win, get your butt home, go to bed, get your mind right, stay away from all that noise. You can answer a couple texts if it's your girlfriend and your mom. I'll work with that. If it's anything else, you need to leave it alone. You need to be focused on the next day. So that's kind of I think that's the hardest part, honestly, is the week of preparation and trying to ignore the noise and focusing on most importantly the task at hand.
All right, y'all got anything else for Coach before we get him out of here? Let him get back to what he's doing, Coach.
Hey man, shout out to you, Coach, and being setting the precedent for high school basketball here the last few years. Shout out to GRC and good luck.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it so much.
All right, we got a couple minutes for our next guest is scheduled. Jared, man, just kind of looking at this tournament, day 2 is like the day, like you were talking about earlier. I mean, it's like heavy hitter.
Yeah, I mean, you got Mountain versus Metro with 2 games, and then you got Lyon County and Newport in the other. And, Travis Perry's 21 points away from the all-time mark. That's 4,337 points. He could get it he'll get 1 point more than, if he gets 21 points, he breaks it. And he's still got a year to go.
Yeah, so, that's the thing.
I mean, it's crazy to think about that. It's a little easier to think about it in the era of the 3-point shot, but nobody's come close. That era has been around for quite a while, and nobody's come close. And now Perry's on the verge of it to catch King Kelly Coleman. I call him the Lion King, and he's going to be by the end of it, for sure. And he's a big time recruit too. He's only 6'2", but he's coming into the tournament leading any player in the field and scoring at 32 points, 2 points a game. He's the leading 3-point field goal maker. He's the leading 3-point field goal percentage shooter in the tournament. I mean, he's the entire thing. He is a microwave out there. It could flip on at any time, and people are in trouble when he gets hot. And he has players besides. Brady Shoulders is the leading rebounder in this tournament coming in for Lyon County, and Jackson Reddick is a really good point guard with some size. So Lyon County is going to be a bear to handle, and they got a pretty rough draw because Newport is a team that nobody's talking about out of the 9th region because everybody expects Covenant Catholic to come out of there. But, I mean, Newport's a good team. I talked to Evan Dennison up there with Lincoln KY, and, he had Newport as his sleeper pick from back in January. He's like, he really liked Newport. Now, he didn't end up picking them, but then he immediately regretted it when they came out and saw the tournament and he saw what they were doing. He says they just have some dudes, and you have to believe them with them coming up.
I saw them at the Ed Step Classic. I got a chance to see them, and like you say, they have some dudes. Now day one, we got
real quick.
Go ahead,
real quick. Hold up, real quick. Coach Scarborough from Douglas talked about Martin County, Jared.
Right.
He said they averaged about 75 points. They averaged 77. How good is Martin County that we don't really know too much about?
Well, the reason we don't know much about Martin County is they got to the All-A Classic and lost to Evangel in the first round, and then they went on an 8-game skid. I mean, they just completely tanked, and everybody forgot about Martin County. And people just chalked up that was going to be Pikeville's region again, and then Martin County woke up. They got a kid named Luke Hale that's averaging, almost 21 points a game, and Braden McKenzie averaging 15.3. I mean, they're one of the lowest rated teams. We have Cantrell ratings come out, and I mean, they and Breathitt are the underdogs in this tournament, but underdogs have some fight in them sometimes, and I don't think they're going to be. Evangel gets off the bus and is pretty intimidating when they get off the bus. And Evangel looks like a bunch of dudes, and I mean, maybe that and the college atmosphere got to them in the All-A Classic. I think that experience is going to help them against Douglas. Douglas, has the athleticism to play with anybody, no matter their height, no matter what they can do. I really like Douglas. Douglas, has to feel like it's got a great draw. But yeah, Martin County is going to come in aiming to prove that they're better than that 8-game losing streak. They're a region champ too, just like 15 other teams. So there are no bad teams up here.
Now, speaking of underdogs, I think we got one that a lot of people sleeping on, and that's that Pulaski County team. We got Coach John Fraley on. Coach, man, welcome to the Sweet 16. Here's Warren Central, Coach.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. We're happy to get back to the Sweet 16.
Well, Coach, you got the draw of, like we say, the number one team, one loss all season. Coach, what you gonna do, Coach?
We're just gonna show up and be us. We're gonna show up and play hard defensively and try to take care of the basketball and hope a few shots go in and try to guard Warren Central. We know that they're the number one team in the state, and they're a really, really good basketball team, and really respect them and the program that they've had over the last few years. So we're just gonna go up there and try to do the best we can do.
Well, first of all, Coach, thanks for joining us, man. Secondly, where's your Pulaski County shirt at, Coach Truck? I mean, you got a shirt for everybody else. Where's your Pulaski County shirt?
It was short notice, and Pulaski, I don't get that way too often. But I had something for you at the tournament, Coach, because I got your back, Coach.
Hey, I appreciate it. We'll get you one if you need it.
That's what I'm saying. Let's go Pulaski. I know what a maroon is, Coach.
He's bad luck, Coach. You don't want him wearing it. He's bad luck. Man, first of all, man, like I said, great season. Coach, man, you didn't have no cakewalk. You had a tough schedule. You could beat a good Bryan Station team. Of course, Madison Central was really good. A West Jesuit team. Coach, you played a great schedule and had some big wins. Man, went out of town, played a few games in Florida, got big wins there too against the Georgia team. Man, how good
Hold
is this
on,
team?
Coach B. I'm sorry. I just want to y'all be Seabreeze. I'm from Ocala. I appreciate that one, Coach. I owe you one for that one. I can't stand them sand crabs, Coach.
Yeah, our pleasure to go down there and get that one for you now. Yeah, we've played some good teams this year, and and just try to put those guys in as many regional type atmosphere games as you can get them in between between the beginning of the year and the district tournament. And so we wanted to play in as many big games or as hard games as we could. And, we challenged ourselves throughout the year, and our guys are just, I've been doing this 7 or 8 years now, and these guys are about as resilient as I've had.
How much confidence does your team get from having beaten Madison Central and Madison Central being the only team that has beaten Warren Central?
I wouldn't lie if that's been brought up a couple times. But we know that that's the only one on their record this year, and that they're really good. And so, yeah, we've used that. It's possible. We know it's David versus Goliath, but we're going to go in there and play hard and try to do what we do.
All right, Coach. Y'all got anything else? But Coach, what's it going to take for us to move on, though? What can we do?
We've got to take care of the ball, and we've got to rebound. They hit the glass extremely hard, and they've got great size 1 through 5, and so we know we got to keep them off the glass, and then we got to take care of the basketball. We know the pressure is the thing that they use to generate offense as well. So we're going to try to do those things, and hopefully a few shots go in, like I said.
Now, Coach, you got a few studs yourself now before we let you go. You got Caden Lancaster, man, averaging almost 20 points a game. And right behind me, Barrett Williams, averaging almost 20 points a game. Other than those two young men, how special they been this year, and who else do you lean on this team? Try to pull this upset come this week.
Yeah, no, those two kids have been huge for us all year long. They're two kids that one is Barrett has had a lot of injuries through high school, and is just finally getting to really show the state what kind of athlete and basketball player he is. He's really underrated in my opinion. He elevates well, he shoots it, rebounds, defends well. He kind of does it all. And so I think whoever ends up getting him at the end of this year is going to get a steal, at the college level. But and then Caden is another kid that kind of sat behind, a few people we've had over the years, and he's finally getting his chance. And he's just an incredible shooter, an incredible athlete, And, we've got 2 or 3 other seniors there, Cam Hargis and Bryson Duggar, and those two guys really guard the ball for us. And Jace Fry's another kid that tore his meniscus at the beginning of the year. We expected him to start all year long, and we didn't get him until February. So he's finally rounding into shape a little bit. And of course, the 5th starter is my nephew, Carson Fraley. He's a freshman. Yeah. He's kind of a utility guy. He does it all. If we need him to play the 1, he plays the 1. If we need him to play the 5, he plays the 5. So, but those are the guys that have really been doing a lot of work for us this year, and we're going to lean on them pretty heavy.
Shout out to his mom, Kim. Is that correct? Miss Kim Fraley? Is it Kim? Christy. Yeah. Shout out to Miss Christy. She helped us get in touch with you. So we want to give her a big shout out. Coach, man, we wish you the best of luck. And keep doing big things. And I'll be there rooting for you, Coach.
I appreciate it, fellas. Thanks for having us on. And we'll see you at Rupp.
Yes, sir.
Coach Trey, you put your Pulaski County voice on there for a minute there, didn't you?
Hey, man, I'm all about my Pulaski Maroons, Coach.
Let's go. All right, who else we got, Coach?
Coach, I got another guest scheduled to come on here, 7:35. We're running a little behind. This would be a big guest. Hopefully he can get him. I know, there's a little time difference, so I don't know if that was a problem or not. But, Jared, man, what's the odd? I mean, I know it's going to take an amazing effort for Pulaski to get past Warren Central, but stranger things have happened.
Well, they're not the biggest. They're not the biggest dog in the tournament. I mean, Breath is a bigger dog to beat Mail, and Martin's the bigger dog to get over Douglas. So, I mean, they are. We put together. Dave Cantrell put together ratings for us this year, and I mean, 4 games are like coin flip games. North Laurel, George Rogers Clark's. not a nickel's difference between their ratings. Elizabethtown McCracken's coin flip, Lyon County Newport coin flip, Woodford County Jeffersontown coin flip. I mean, what a set of games, for that. And it's nuts. I mean, Ashland Blazer Owensboro could be a really tight game as well. I mean, we picked the media. We have 16 media members who vote in our media poll during the season. We all tried to pick each region this year, and none of us, the best of us got half the regions right. And the rest of us fared a lot worse. It was terrible. We have no idea what's going on. So, I mean, this tournament could be wide open. It's not like when we came into the girls last week and, pretty much we knew Sacred Heart. Somebody was going to have to bow up.
Hold that thought, Jared. Hold that thought. You said the girls tournament is Sacred Heart.
What you got?
There we go. My coach, Coach Moore. State champion 3 in a row, Coach. How are you feeling today, Coach?
I am exhausted. It was a great week. I'm feeling pretty good.
Coach, I got to ask. Four?
We got a chance. We got a chance. We stay healthy. We got a chance.
Coach, what's it like driving the Ferrari, Coach? What's it like driving that Ferrari you got?
It is a Ferrari, but a lot of work goes into that Ferrari. You got to put gas in it. So you just don't roll out. I think a lot of people think we roll the ball out and just play, but we don't. It takes a lot of work, and I'm proud of my staff and proud of all the girls, because it's not easy to win a championship. It really isn't. And and that GRC, man, they gave us everything they had, and we had to play our best to beat them.
Now, Coach Moore, we had you on a few years ago, right before COVID. I think right during COVID, and you right before the tournament started, you talked about how you had a little break where you didn't get back to Sweet 16s, and had, I guess, a few average years. How important was those years building up to where you back at now, back on top of the mountaintop?
I think those were important years. That's what you don't realize. I mean, heck, I had Grace Berger, who was probably one of the best high school players ever to play, and leading Indiana to a #1 seed tonight, and we didn't win it with her. And I had some really good players around her. And so you just never, everything's got to come together. And I think those years of disappointment, but, helped us build for last night, but also I think seeing the quality of kids that have come through our program and been successful and gotten better, I think that's helped, other kids want to come play at Sacred Heart.
Now, this is one thing I wanted to ask the players, but I never really got the chance. You guys are a small private school. Your gym is, relatively small, and you guys go and play some of the bigger schools, and you play a national schedule. How do they deal with, I guess it was a great way of getting them ready. That GRC crowd was huge. Very rarely do y'all play in front of these huge crowds that's on your side. How do they deal with that?
That's we played a lot of tough gyms. When we opened up this year, we went to Cooper and beat Cooper at Cooper. We went to Meade County, and that gym was packed, and that boys their student section was yelling everything you could imagine at us. And same at GRC. So I think those hostile environments, they helped us, but like our kids want to play in front of a lot of people. When we had the 4:00 LIT game, they're like, hey, can you move our game to 7 so so people can come watch us play, like they embrace that, and they want to play in front of big crowds. It doesn't intimidate them at all.
So, Coach, how many times can you execute in your career? Have you seen your team execute the backdoor alley-oop play the way that you did last night with Zakiah to Reagan to Zakiah to the rim? I mean, how long before Zakiah dunks that in?
She tried to dunk times and hit the rim and almost broke her back. But
no.
I should send you the video. I thought a couple times she might try to do that, but that's something we have in our offense that we're able to execute. And Obviously, Reagan threw a nice pass, but, we get great screens from like Claire Russell and Angelina to be able to execute that. And, we've got a couple sets that we go to if they play a zone, and that's one of them.
I mean, my draw drops a lot when I watch you guys play, but when that play happened, I was like, what is going on?
Yeah. And sometimes we know we can get it because, like last night, McCracken was playing kind of their 2-3 zone was kind of high. So we felt like we could execute that because that gave Zakiya some room to get behind that zone. And, we practice that play like every day.
I mean, usually you see girls catch it on their feet and then they go up for the layup. You don't very often see a girl catch the ball at the bottom of the backboard and turn it in. So
yeah,
that was just really neat.
Yeah, she had one off a missed layup too that you saw where she just came in and got it and just put it right back up. I mean, she's capable of doing big things. It's just you've never seen like that's not something I've seen. Like she'll pull that off and you're like, wow, I didn't see that. But yeah, she can do those things.
We all have to take a drink now that you said big things on the air.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, is that what it is? What y'all got in there? Some Yellowstone?
Man, how special is Zakiya Johnson just being a sophomore? It don't seem fair that she's just a sophomore. Has got 2 more years of that program. That's got to be special.
What's great about Zakiya is, her basketball talents are going to take her a long way, but her personality and her caring for each other and her demeanor, her attention to detail, the way she attacks school. She's an awesome student too. And, it's school at Sacred Heart first. I know people, it's a tough academic school. So you got to come in and you've got to perform in the classroom or you're not going to get on the court. And she takes care of business in all parts of her life.
Coach, who's in on Angelina and Reagan? I mean, they're really good players as well. Are they being recruited by?
Yeah, they are. A lot of I think they're gonna really explode on the AU scene this summer. A lot of mid majors, Xavier, Murray State, Bellarmine, Tennessee Tech. A lot of those type schools. But after the during the tournament, and I've gotten text messages from some other schools that are like, "Hey, can we get their contact information? We're going to reach out." So I think it'll be a matter of getting on campus and, having some schools look at them, on campus and seeing what they, because a lot of schools won't offer them until they actually visit campus. And I think those girls are in that same situation. So hopefully they'll have some time to take some visits and, get in front of those college coaches.
All right, Coach, I got one more question for you. I do.
Oh, no.
When you started the game, like the GRC game, GRC jumped ahead. Mm-hmm. How much coaching? I mean, there's so you've been through so much, and you've almost kind of, I guess, raised them. Mm-hmm. Do you really do a lot of coaching when they hit those adversity times, or are you really just kind of like just let them go and they got it?
Like Reagan at halftime, I think she thinks I'm hard on her because I'm her aunt, and I've watched her grow up her whole life. So I just told her that, hey, I believe in you and I know I'm hard on you and I know you don't think I do. Because she was kind of mad at me that she didn't make the all-region team. I could tell all week that she kind of had she was kind of mad at me about that. And I just told her I believed in her and to just move. And so did my assistant, Amy, caught her and said, hey, just do what you do. Make some cuts to the basket, play defense, and everything will open up. But, when she hit those threes, I mean, I was right behind her and I was like, man, they look good. And, so she just really kind of came into her own. And that was the big spark. We're not playing Saturday night if Reagan doesn't have the second half she does against GRC. But that being said, there's some coaching moves we make. Like they were playing a zone and they were playing us some triangle and 2. And so we had to, we go over that and we just had to remind them like here, we're going to screen the post and we're going to cut to the corner. And, because Ralston and Russell and AP, they can all score. Like, I mean, so does Reagan and Z, but those other 3 can score too. It's not like you don't have to guard them.
Coach, how did y'all shut Sierra down? I mean, she had an amazing tournament up to this point, and she was kind of like, y'all just, what'd you do?
We put Claire Russell and Z took the Breyer sisters, and the one killed us, and the other one we shut down. So I think Z had the one we shut down, but we knew, they're good players, and Robbie Graham runs just an amazing program. I mean, he said it just like he said, we're an elite program, just like Sacred Heart. And I would totally agree with him on that. But, I think our defense, we switched up our defense. We played every possession on makes, we went zone, and on misses, we went man. So we were trying to give them different looks every time down the floor. And then we had, like, a lot of times what people will do is, whoever AP, whoever Angelina's guarding, they'll have them bring the ball down the floor. And you saw the Breyer sisters bring the ball down the floor. We just kind of tried to switch Trinity on that so that, she could put some pressure on the ball.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's a little coaching involved.
Okay.
Studied, we probably, from the GRC game where we beat them by 1 at their place, we probably watched that film 5 times. We knew we were going to see them. The film work we did this year, we focused on Central, we focused on Manual, and we focused on GRC. And we went over their film work because, that was a tough matchup for us. GRC is it's all about matchups, and those games were tough matchups for us. And, we would look at their film and see, what their moves were. We would see where we could take advantage of different situations offensively. But like I said, those were the 3, we don't do a whole lot of film work, but when we do, those were the games we were working on.
All right. Y'all got anything else for my coach? And she's, let us celebrate. Coach, I love what you're doing. Appreciate you, Coach.
Well, thank you. It's been a great day. I've had, just tons of people reach out. I don't even know how these kids probably handle their phones today, but, it was a great ride home for Lexington, and Rep Arena is special. And it was just a special week. I had all my family there, which was really nice. And, and these kids, it's them. I mean, they put in the work. I got a text somebody saying, "Are we going to go shoot today?" And I'm like, absolutely not. But I think they were just kidding to see if I'd meet them. But, they'll be out playing AAU here shortly. And I just hope they we all have some time to enjoy it because, it's to win a 3-peat, that's special. And it's something we need to just celebrate.
All right, Coach. Well, get some rest, and thank you, Coach.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Congratulations, Coach.
Love Coach Donna. Hey, and now for the Coup de Gracie. I've been setting this one up. I got my man, my coach, Coach William Unseld. What's going on, Coach?
Man, what's going on?
Hey. Hold on. I got to get dressed for my coach now. I got to let him know, Coach. I'm with you, Coach.
All
I'm
right.
riding.
All right. Hey, this hour threw me off, man. I'm back to my house.
That's what I figured, Coach.
Yeah. Man, I appreciate y'all having me, though.
Y'all got anything, Coach?
Yeah,
Coach, you're coming in as the number 1 team. Everybody thinks it's yours. So how do you get your guys ready?
Hey, you know what? Man, I got a mature group. They've been there. I told somebody the other day, I said, I honestly believe it was more pressure on them just to win the region championship to get back than it is moving forward. So we've had a good few days of practice. We're relaxed. Hey, we're ready to go compete and see what happens.
How happy are you that you don't have any 11 a.m. games like you had in Lexington 3 months ago?
What's that?
How happy are you that you don't have any 11 a.m. games like you had in Lexington back in December?
Oh, yeah. You know what, man? That was a bunch of stuff that went on in that and I'm glad it happened. Credit to Madison Central. We needed that. We came home after King of the Bluegrass, and we literally didn't practice for 6 days and went and played a game with no practice. And we got off that bus and was down 18-4 before I could blink, and you could just tell we hadn't been on the floor. We literally, the day before the game, we didn't even get to practice because the weather came in again, so we just rolled up there and played, and they had a great game plan together, and Coach Feldhaus is a great coach, man. He's a great coach. And they did a great job. But I told the guys after the game, I said, I'm not even disappointed we lost. I'm actually glad. So now you don't have to carry that undefeated stuff all year long. You can just go play now. And, so that's been good for us. That's been good. It woke them up a little bit. And plus, on top of that, these kids, we had a little break. I don't think any of them have been to sleep before midnight while we was on the break. So, you know, it was good. It let them know they got to make sacrifices for it to get the ultimate goal.
Coach, this is a loaded team, man. I'm telling you, led by, you know, of course, one young man. I appreciate the whole deed of your heart. Kate Unseld averaging almost 16 points a game. Chappelle Whitney averaging almost 17 points a game. Then you got, you know, the walk-up kid. He's got about 13. And then Amari Glover, almost 10, 11. How important is it for them young men? How much are you leaning on them? And who else do you depend on this team to be so special?
No.
Coach, we might have lost. Give him a couple seconds to come back. Oh yeah,
he's cycling.
Yeah, man. I was happy to get my coach on too. You know, now one thing about that Warren Central team, you know, last year, I mean, they were this close to winning it last year.
There he is.
There he is. We let him. I mean, go ahead, Coach. Did you hear the question, Coach?
Yeah, being a point away from him, man, it left a lot for him to push forward this year, man. So it's been good. We needed that motivation, and off season was good, and everything we're doing right now to prepare has been good. I mean, we got a great group of talent. Like you said, we, you know, basically have 5 guys who average double figures, and they're unselfish, man. It's, you know, one night is Cade, one night is Chappelle, one night is Walker, one night is Glover, is Villaforte. That's what makes us really good. You can't just key on one guy. And they got permission to miss shots, so I let them go. Let's go play.
Now you got tested in the region finals against Bowling Green. You've beaten that team a few times before, and they came out and fought you and pushed you to overtime. I mean,
well, you know what?
You hadn't been tested a lot during the year, and that was a test that last time.
It was a test. It was good for us. You know, and honestly, we were one play from just putting that game away. We led double figure pretty much the whole game. Now up 9 with the ball about 5 minutes ago, and we shoot an awful shot. We got the ball leading. We missed a 3 when it should have been. The young man had a layup. He shoots a 3. They go down and make a 3, and that changes the whole game that quick. You know, instead of us going up double figures, now it was a 2-possession game. And then it got tight. We took some bad shots, you know, so it was good for us to say, all right, we need to go back and work on some late game stuff, you know, because we haven't had that many challenges. But I also knew that game was going to be tough because we beat a top 10 team 4 times. It's hard to do.
How hard is it to get the kids to understand time and place? Because I think you advanced last year because somebody didn't understand time and place in a game late in the clock. How hard is it to get the kids to, it's like, hey, we don't need a shot.
Oh, it's hard, you know, and we're screaming at the young man, hey, hold up, and it's gone, you know. And we came down and did it a couple more times, and they're looking at you like, but I'm open. I'm like, time and situation. 10 minutes ago, that's a great shot. Right now, it's awful. You know, and it's hard for them to grasp that in the moment. They're so jacked up that they're not even trying to, you know, understand it. And I'm like, fellas, we're up. They're going to have to foul us. Let's take time off this clock. Let's get layups now. And I think we shot 2 threes in that stretch, turned it over a couple times. You know, it was just like, what are we doing? You know, but it was good to see them respond. I mean, that's how quick the game, and it was good for them to understand that's how quick the game can change on us. You know, you're dominating the game pretty much the whole game, and then you almost gave in a 5-minute stretch, you almost gave the game away because you wouldn't take care of the ball and you were just shooting shots because you was open. And I was like, man, that's the worst excuse you can give me coming off. I was open. Hey, that don't mean you shoot it. Not right now.
They're just thinking of you, Coach. They want to make sure you got in all kinds of different situations for them to get out of.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that's what I said, man, y'all trying to put me in stuff to get you out of it. I said, well, y'all going to have to win. We go into overtime. I told them, just go win it. I don't know what else to tell you other than go win it. Y'all know how to win it, and they did. My little point guard is great. He gets them together and huddles them up. All I remember is walking away from the huddle in the overtime, and he get them together, and he was challenging them, and it worked. He challenged them, and it worked.
Now, Coach, you got something? Okay, Coach, man, you know the Unseld name. You know, I mean, that's kind of like basketball royalty. Yep. All the things you've been around and seen. What's been some of your biggest coaching influences that have you coaching the way you do and how you treat your players?
You know what, man? I got into. I never even thought about coaching. I honestly never did. I was, got out of school, went overseas and played, got hurt, came home. We started working and hanging out, just living life. And coaching wasn't even in my mindset. And guy for the housing authority, Abraham Williams here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, he asked me to coach his housing authority team. And I did it because he's a great man. I did it for him, but I still wasn't expecting, that'd be something I wanted to do. Man, at first practice, I got the bug. Like, I really want to do this. It gives you your competitive. I had lost that competitive edge because I wasn't playing. Man, it's like playing. Then Tim Riley, who was the coach of Warren Central at the time, he brought me on. I was coached at the middle school first year, and then he brought me up with him, and he's been my biggest mentor, and he's always pushed me, and he's the one that said, William, when he stepped away, he said, why don't you be the head coach? No one else will do it better than you. You went to school here. You know the kids. You're a hell of a basketball coach. I think you should try to get it. I wasn't even going to try to get it. When he stepped down, I just asked him, hey, make sure whoever takes a job is somebody I want to coach with. And, a couple of days later, he called me and said, why don't you just be the coach? And it worked out for me to do that. And we've had a lot of success. This is 6 region championships. We've been to 2 Final Fours, a state final. And we're going back to see what we get done this time.
All right, Coach. I'm rooting for you. I got your back.
I appreciate it. I appreciate
you.
I appreciate it. We're going to try to go put on a show, that's for sure.
Good luck to you all, Coach, man. Great season. Season.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Y'all got anything else for Coach before we let him out of here?
Good luck on Wednesday.
All right. Thank you, guys. I'm about to go watch some film. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Man, as far as Coach, I wasn't really up on Coach like that, but he impressed me so much that tournament last year, seeing his interviews and watching him coaching his team. And I'm a big fan. That's my coach right there. I mean it this time, y'all. That's my coach right there. I love Coach Unseld, man.
Yeah, he combines, sincerity with, real talk. I mean, he doesn't, there's no coach talk with him. He lays it out. He's a great quote, and he's fun to be around too. I mean,
yes.
After they lost to Madison Central, he was just a fountain of quotes, some of which I couldn't use, but he's a great guy to be around, win or lose. So and he keeps things in perspective. That's the biggest thing. That's what impressed everybody the most last year, is how well he kept everything in perspective after that tough loss to Clark in the finals. It's like, man, who wouldn't want to play for that guy?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jared, before we get out, Buell, you got any predictions? Jared, you got any predictions? Oh, when is your previews going to be out?
I think I'm still working on one of them, but Monday and Tuesday, my glance comes out team by team, all the top scores, 16 things to look for comes out. My predictions will come out. I believe I've got Warren Central at the end of it. I don't know how we're going to get there.
Exactly. I don't know how we going to get there.
I don't know how everybody else is going to get there, but, like I said, the media experts, quote, experts, didn't do a very good job of predicting the regular season. So I don't imagine I'll do a very good job predicting the postseason because it's all in these high school kids' hands, and that's what makes it so exciting. So whoever wins, we win and rewrite, and we're going to be happy for them and tell their stories when they make them. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well said. I ain't gonna lie, man. You can't count out a previous champion, GRC. Let's see if they can get it done. But I like.
They got the hardest road.
Yeah, I know. That's the only thing about it. Yeah, lie. Absolutely.
It's like
never lie.
Have some North Laurel, Lyon County, Newport, maybe Douglas at the end. Good luck.
Yeah. Douglas team tough too, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Male. Douglas or Male, or
two
teams that beat Douglas or Male. Good luck to you. Yeah.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Well, man, y'all got anything else before we close out?
Before we close out, shout out to Amari Gurdon.
Yes.
Greg Gurdon, Coach Chase Creek football. One of our good friends, his niece, a sophomore sensation there in Cincinnati. She plays with Cincinnati Preston. They won the girls' state championship last night. Shout out to them, her mom and dad, Marsha Gurdon and Kenneth Gurdon, great young talent. She's from Lexington, Jared. Lord, I wish she was here, my defender, because she'd be something special, I'm telling you. But shout out to her and the lady Princeton, Cincinnati Princeton, and what they did last night.
All right.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys. I'll be on Kentucky.com and the Herald Leader and HL Preps on Twitter. So I always appreciate you having me on. And we're looking forward to seeing you this week.
Yes, sir.
Always a pleasure to have the great Professor Peck on. So much knowledge about sports everywhere. I appreciate you, Jared. Man,
I
as
gotta slip
always,
you some money to change my photo. That photo that you keep using of me, gotta go.
I'm sorry. Send me a picture. I'll change it. I'll change it.
I got a picture. It's on Twitter right now. Use that one. Come on.
Man, hey man.
You don't like this picture, Jared?
That's his high school picture. He took that in high school.
You're killing me. You're
He
killing
took
me.
that in high school graduation picture.
Killing me, Truck.
Well, we want to thank you, Jared, man. Again, nobody can compare to the job you do, man. I appreciate the work you do and all the kids and everything. Coach Buell, you want to get us out of here?
Man, as always, just be a living donor. I'm Coach Buell, my man, Coach T-Bell on side. Jared Peck, we appreciate you as always. Coach Truck, anything else?
Hey.